Twin Peaks was a conservative community whose residents valued academic achievement and strong moral guidelines for their children. Parents generally were not opposed to change if they were convinced it would improve student success, but they certainly would not support unproven alterations to a school curriculum they felt was working. Thus, when Marcia Long, Twin Peaks Elementary principal, decided to introduce the concept of performance-based assessment to Twin Peaks, she had proceeded slowly and carefully. It wasn't just because new state standards and testing required such assessment. Marcia truly felt that performance assessment would benefit students and better prepare them for the future. She had been sure to gain approval and discuss her plans with the superintendent before beginning any discussions with parents or staff. The superintendent had cleared the way with the Board of Education, explaining their rationale for change, including state reform mandates and student benefits. For the most part, the change process was going well. In 5th grade, teachers had implemented performance assessments that aligned with state tests and curriculum, and that became part of their report of student progress to parents. In addition to traditional grades on report cards, a rubric of standards and expectations was also given to parents. The decision to use both forms of reporting had been the result of Marcia's meeting with her parent advisory committee, who felt parents would be more receptive and understanding of change if traditional reporting forms were maintained. In addition to her work with the parent advisory committee, she consulted with many individual parents who had come to her with questions or concern. Marcia had arranged for 5th grade teachers to have extra planning time and in-service training to design and incorporate performance assessment into their curriculum.
With the exception of one teacher, Janice French, the 5th grade faculty was enthusiastic about the project. Unfortunately, the one faculty member who disliked the change was adamantly opposed and very vocal. She voiced her concerns not only in school but also to her friends, many of whom had children in Twin Peaks Elementary School. Janice's naysaying attitude was nothing new, however, and most of the time other teachers just ignored her. They saw Janice as basically a kind-hearted person, but only a mediocre teacher. They saw her as unwilling to change her traditional ways of instruction. Parents were of similar mind. She generally did well with students whose parents preferred the ways of teaching which were familiar. That is, whole group instruction and lots of bookwork and paper and pencil tasks. The other 5th grade teachers and Marcia believed that Janice would eventually comply with the new process, as was her usual pattern. Marcia was therefore a little surprised about the phone call she received from Linda Bell, the PTA president. Linda and Marcia had great rapport, and Linda was like Marcia's eyes and ears of the community. Linda had on several occasions given Marcia useful information about the rumor mill in the community. Today's call was in that same vein. Linda got right to the point. "Your name came up last night at softball practice," she said. "Okay," replied Marcia. "Tell me more." Linda relayed the latest gossip. "Seems that Lucy Nellis has a problem with the new 5th grade assessment program." "Oh, great," thought Marcia. "I spent 2 hours with her last week and she seemed satisfied." Lucy was a member of an extremely conservative, albeit small church in town. Half of their 36 members homeschooled their children, and the other half played watchdog over Peak Valley Public School District. Marcia had always tried to openly communicate with parents of this congregation, and Lucy was an active member of her parent advisory. Linda continued, "I wasn't too concerned when I heard that Lucy was questioning this new program. After all, she questions everything. What bothered me was the conversation I had with Ellen Slater, the wife of First State Bank's president, and Joanne Glade, the school board president's wife. They were talking about this new experimental curriculum in the 5th grade. I know they didn't hear it from Lucy, so that means the grapevine is buzzing. I knew you'd want to know."